one wasn't the good one, and the second one might be the shitty one, who knows. Anyway, this is a pretty fat fucking envelope. If it's one thing, I'll make it blissfully short. If it's two things, I'll save it for another day. So, wait, postmark. March 1st. March 1st, 1993. Holy crap, it's like tome. Has my name on it. Lindsey Anderson, an excerpt from her forthcoming novel about love, lust, and violence. Wow, it's a continuation of what I had before. What's wrong with me? I sleepwalk into the bathroom and look at myself in the mirror. I am going to figure out everything that's wrong with me. The dull yellow light is unkind. I move my face closer to the glass. Every blemish seems to glow purple under the cheap fluorescent bulbs. I run my fingertips over my skin and stop at every imperfection, as if trying to read my face in braille. I scrape my fingers over everything I don't like. I don't feel any sensation except in my fingertips. I take a step back now. I see tiny droplets of blood randomly dotting my face. They're making little teardrops. I wait for them to run down my face. They can never do as the blood has hardened before the little blemishes can cry. I can't even cry. Now I look worse. Yes, Mom, I know. Don't you pick. You'll just make it worse. I either do it consciously or unconsciously, but I love to pick my face. This is pure pleasure. It's like biting my nails used to be. Everyone would ask me why I bite my nails. Am I anxious? Was it something bothering me? No, I just love to bite my nails. It was fun. I could bring whatever I want. It was self-contained entertainment, pure oral satisfaction. Then I got my first manicure, and biting my nails wasn't fun anymore. That's the reason I stopped. Now I pick my face. It is probably the only pleasurable, indulgent thing I do. And I have regrets afterward. Now my face looks like the lunar surface. That must be what's wrong with me. The self-scrutinization will not stop there. I snap open the clip at the nape of my neck and let my hair fall about my face. There's an awkward crimp in my hair, right at the ear level. Is this what I looked like when I got ready for bed every night? No wonder he dumped me. How sexy can a page boy haircut be, especially with a kink in it? Who wanted this hair? Did I really wear my hair this way? Did I ask for this? I don't want it anymore. My hair has got to go. No wonder he didn't want me anymore. How could he want me if I didn't want my hair? I slide my earrings from the holes in my earlobes. How simple, how practical, how painfully dull, how proper, how understated, how understated. They say absolutely nothing at all. No personality. I hold them in the palm of my hand and look at them perfectly. They're doomed. I've moved my hand over the garbage and tilt them so that they roll into the abyss. The landfall is too good for those earrings. My pearl choker is probably trembling with fear. Those pearls come from a living organism, so they probably pick up the vibes. They probably hated being in the standard 15-inch strand. We enslave these poor little oysters to pump out little pearls for our conspicuous consumption, and then we split their faces by making single-strand chokers. I will free them now. I will take their manicure scissors from my cup on the sink, and I cut between each pearl until I have a little handful of iridescent spheres. Should I free them by dumping them down the drain and thereby sending them back into the ocean where they belong? I have an image of them dissolving in acid at a sewage treatment plant. I place them in an ashtray I stole from an Italian hotel for safekeeping until I can get to the back. At least they will be all huddled together for company instead of on a silk chain gang. My watch! My watch is what's wrong with me. Seiko, how middle class. The watch is a perfect combination of physics and aesthetics. And I have a dreadful piece of quartz crap. I'm gonna make time stop. I want it to stop. Maybe then I wouldn't miss him so much. I remove the watch from my wrist and I flip it on its face so I can remove the battery. I use my fingernail into the groove and I twist. But instead of removing the panel, I break my fingernail instead. Good. Now I want to bite it. Now I have to figure out what to do with the watch later, so I place it on the edge of the sink. I have an idea. I'll drown my watch. I eagerly turn on the water and fill the sink. I can't imagine any worse way to die except to drown. Well, maybe being burned alive or boiled in oil. But I'm not going to bother with that to do that to my watch. I casually drop my watch into the sink with a satisfied plop, and I can read it through the water. It's still moving. A second hand move around the dial, pausing at each tiny second marker. Couple of rounds. It's still moving. I see something that catches my attention. I play lifeguard to my watch and bring it closer to my eyes. Water resistant. It says it right on the face, and I never really noticed it. I never needed it, I guess. And now that I need it, not to have it, it's water resistant. I place it on a towel. I think of something to do to it. I can't think of it now. Sliding down a razor blade into a pool of alcohol, I shiver. Where did that come from? I'm not really sure. I put that thought away. I have to find out what is wrong with me. I kick off my shoes. They're not really worth describing. I kick them underneath the sink. I don't want to see them. I pull my pantyhose from my toes and they get stuck like fingers in a Chinese finger trap. I am hopping on one leg, trying to pull them off, and I'm tugging as it reaches its climax. I fall over and hit my knees on the edge of the toilet. Shit! I said out loud. Why did I say that? I must have picked up that language from him. Figures. Those traders talk like drunken sailors. I can't believe some of the language that would come out of his mouth. I look down and I see that my skin is scraped off from the part of my top of my shin. That means I'm wearing black pantyhose tomorrow. My offending pantyhose are suntan. Why do I wear suntan? Are suntans sexy? Do I look like a grilled hot dog at Papaya King just to attract men? He likes tans, but what are they for? They look like flaky and splotchy most of the time. I don't really like them. Would I get a tan if he would come back? I wore suntan pantyhose and he ran off with the secretary. I bet you that goes to a tanning salon. I bet you she tanned at a salon and only wears a thong so she doesn't get lines. My tan has seams. He wanted seamless porno girl tan. My pantyhose came from the supermarket. Serves me right. I could have spent the extra money and had a gingerling tan and worn sheer pantyhose from Bloomingdale's. Was it worth my relationship? I thought I had a cheerleader body. That's what's wrong with me. I tear off my clothes so fast, you would have thought I'd jump into a raging river to save someone from drowning. I started poking at my thighs and I see a patch of dimple flesh. I squeeze it with both my hands until it looks like an orange peel. There it is! There's my problem! I went to the gym every once in a while, but I couldn't get rid of that. Damn! She's 22 and probably doesn't have it yet. She'll get it. Just you wait, babe. Then you'll be trying to drown your watch too. It won't be long. I trot into the bedroom to get a look at myself in the full-length mirror behind the door. I'm standing in front of it, stark raving naked. That's what I am. I'm raving, ranting and raving. I was always so good. I never nagged or complained. I never raised my voice to him. I never ranted and raved. I did that right. Now I'm here, naked like Beth's witch, ranting and raving. I wish I could speak in tongues. There is so much I rant about, but I haven't the experience. So I'll just quiet my mind and look hard at myself. My shoulders are fairly broad. I don't need shoulder pads in my suits. the way he would, and they're still firm. They're not large, so gravity has been kind to my breasts. Over the years, they're not small either. Do they fit to the standard that every man claims to have, but is secretly lying? I bring my hands to them. I am aware that I have never really touched my breasts before, except to wash them, or put on a bra, or pluck out the stray hair. I don't even do self-breast examinations. I let my doctor do them every 6 months. I just never thought to do it. It lives up to the handful standard, maybe even a bit more. I hold both breasts in my hands. I clutch them like a sports magazine swimsuit model. I could be sexy. I can see it. I guess I never really tried that hard. It's not really my body that I didn't use or wish I had. I try out the other half of the male standard for breasts. I bring my chin all the way to my chest and stick out my tongue as far as I can. I can barely reach the top of it. So, I guess I can find out for myself, but it looks like a mouthful to me. I suddenly feel my spit evaporating from my best friend. What did I just do? Was that really necessary? I rub the remaining bit of saliva into my skin in order to erase it. My stomach is pretty flat. I need a bikini wax, but he never cared about it really. I think boys like a crotch in almost any condition. I never had any personal odor either. I never stooped to spraying though. It's just too much. I had a couple of towelettes somewhere. I reached to the top of my closet and pull out my travel bag and little sample sizes of shampoos and grooming aids. After rummaging through the travel soaps, I pull out a towelette and I unfold it. It smells like disposable diapers. That too gets dropped in the trash, and I look for more to join it. Look at yourself. Really, look at yourself. I always thought that I was thin and pretty and smart, and that I would have no problems except for money. What's wrong with me? I am all those things, and my boyfriend, soon to be my husband, was off with a girl who wears an ankle bracelet and who should have never been allowed to work at nothing better than a Dairy Queen. I hate my own guts. I hate everything. I start to hate God's guts. That is the worst thing I can think of to say, but I don't care. It isn't fair. I really try to do everything right, and I can't find anything wrong with me that couldn't just take a little more work. I curse my own wretchedness. It must be your fault. What did I do wrong? This room is too quiet. I can't even think of anything. I go to the stereo and press play. The disc is the same disc. I've been sitting there for weeks. Beginning there, I hear a beat, and it sounds good to me. Don't go for second best, baby. Put your love to the test. You know you got to make him express how he feels, and maybe then you know your love is real. I never even knew what she was saying. I intently listened to the words. I can't believe what I'm hearing. I bet you he isn't sitting around trying to figure out where he went wrong. He wouldn't. Oh, this is all smeared from the word processor with my body. He wouldn't wonder if he was smart enough or good looking enough or funny enough. No way! He would say that it was my fault. If I ran off with some beefcake, some stud puppet, he would say, that bitch, stupid motherfucker. I can't believe what I just said that. I never even heard my mother utter a shit in frustration until I was 16, and it cost her $400 and a weekend of est to be able to say it. I still remember it. She dropped a dish while in the dishwasher and smashed it on the floor, and before all the fragments had settled on the linoleum, she said, shit, without even thinking. I was so proud of her, I stood up in the kitchen and the table and clapped. Motherfucker, asshole, there's nothing wrong with me except for that I picked a jerk. I begin to stomp my feet. Bastard, fuckhead. My friend had given me a piece of stationery that says, Dear Fuckface on it. I don't think I'll find it. and sent him a letter on it. I saved that damn thing since junior high school. It's his fault he likes cheap mall sluts. It's his fault I wore suntan pantyhose. It's his fault that I tried hard to do everything right. Dickhead! I stopped my foot and I said instantly, jerk off! I hope he grows hair on his palms. Cocksucker! And when you're gone, he might regret it. Think about the love he once had, and carry on, but he just won't get it. He'll be back on his knees to express himself. Yeah, but get on your knees, and while you're down there, you can smell my crotch, and I don't care if it doesn't smell like baby ass, feminine smelling towelettes. He could stick his face in my crotch without the perfume, without the bikini wax, without the protraction of frighteningly ugly suntan pantyhose. Who needs a suntan? This is New York. There's more to read, but I'm done. I'll let you drink. Bye.
Yay.